Welcome everybody to the second studio episode of What's the Scoop. We are your hosts,
Jay,
Austin,
Wyatt,
and we're getting ready to hit you in the jaw again with the latest from all the sports around the league. We got a good episode today. Hot topics from the NBA. We got some college football, and the NFL shaping out. So let's see what we got. How y'all doing, fellas?
Man, doing good, brother.
Another day in paradise. Yeah, a lot going on, and a lot we got to talk about today.
A lot we got to talk about.
Let's do it.
Right now, I'm coming for y'all next, and y'all can pick y'all jaws up off the floor later. But I need to get into this Kyrie Irving situation because this is an abomination. We're looking at the Colin Kaepernick of the NBA.
Yeah, definitely.
Freedom of speech is.
So what happens for people who don't know? Like, why is Kyrie in such hot water?
He retweeted, didn't have any comments on it. He retweeted a movie title called Hebrews to Negroes.
Yeah.
I have not personally seen it.
Yeah.
But I guess from what speculations are saying, it's very anti-Semitic. I've heard it go both ways, that it's not. So I guess he upset a lot of people with that. But now he has been suspended by his team.
Yeah.
And it just came down from the team owner that he has a week to complete these conditions, which include apologize and condemn the film,
Ridiculous.
make a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, complete sensitivity training, complete anti-Semitism training, meet with ADL and Jewish leaders, and then meet with the team owner to understand a solution. And Kyrie's not going to fold. He's been under the pressure. I personally am not a fan of him on the court. You know what I'm saying? He's out of he has his ego. You know what I'm saying? But off the court, he's been a big philanthropist.
Yeah, yes.
He's supported his community well, and
definitely.
What it comes down to is people don't like free thinkers. They're gonna shut it up from the top, and I don't like. There's not a lot of players supporting him with this issue. He's not going to fold.
No, definitely not.
And he doesn't need the NBA. He can go to China and make $3 billion off his name right now, just off merchandising. So
do what Stephon Marbury did, right? Go out there and start winning championships and stuff like that, and be a GOAT, right? Absolutely.
So I think this is ridiculous. Freedom of speech is only as free as you don't, cross the agenda.
Just from what I've seen, he only reposted a movie on his story. He didn't go on a post and make this long statement.
Not at all.
Describing this movie. And none of us have seen the movie he's talking about, so we don't really know the full message. It's tough to see, like, people just getting so up in arms about promoting a movie. And as we've mentioned before, Kyrie's not going to budge. He was a part-time NBA player last season because he didn't want to get the vaccine.
I think this all stems from some of that too.
I'm sure that has something to do with that, and I think it's just a lot of it's come with the full eruption of the Kyrie Nets saga. As
and like I said, the Colin Kaepernick of the NBA is what I feel like, and there's not too much support that he's getting, but all I gotta say is free Kyrie, free Brittany Griner.
Word up, yeah.
Let's get into some sports, y'all.
Let's lighten it up a little bit.
Let's keep it going. We're gonna get into some NBA right now. We got a good 8 games coming on tomorrow, the 15th. Here's the basketball matchups coming up. Let's take a look at a few of them. I want to highlight the Celtics-Hawks matchup first.
Yeah, man.
Celtics. Number 1 in the East.
Number 1 in the East, brother. Look, Jaylen Brown, he's been putting up some numbers. He's averaging 25.4 per game, and Tatum at 31.9 per game. So, man, these guys is amazing together, combination together, man.
Hey, and the Hawks aren't too shabby as well, as they're 3rd in the East.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Fellow All-Stars Trae Young and DeJounte Murray are clicking,
For sure.
They're both getting theirs in. So that should be a very fun matchup, I think.
Yeah, you can't count Atlanta out. It's going to be a shootout, I think. Celtics, I think, are coming out on top.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is a very interesting matchup. We're going to keep it in the East with the Cavs and the Bucks, two of the hottest teams in the league right now. And I mean, the Bucks did just make that big 5-for-1 trade for Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell,
and
man.
I mean, as far as you know, fair trades go, this has pretty much been one of them with the Jazz and the Cavs.
Yeah.
Because the Jazz are no slouches either this season.
Jazz aren't nothing to mess with. But kind of with this matchup. Look, it's going to be really hard to surpass Giannis, even with this trade that the Cavs made. Surprisingly, they're holding their own, 8-5 going into this year. Giannis, I think, is just too much of a powerhouse, and the Bucks to overcome.
10-3, they're second in the East. Giannis is getting 31-12.
Absolutely. Look, you know, and Donovan Mitchell, man. I want to say with him back there in the backcourt, man. You know, you can't take him for granted, man, but I got the Bucks on this one. It's still early in the beginning of the season, so, you know, let's just not count Cavaliers out. But this game in particular, man, you know, hey, man, give it up to the Bucks right now on this one.
And we were talking about last episode about Chris Middleton coming back.
For sure,
I know they're going to ease him in. They're doing good right now, but once, like you said, it's beginning. But once midseason comes,
game time.
It's going to be a hot one.
For sure.
All right, and then to wrap Wednesday up, we got the reigning champs, the Warriors, taking on the Phoenix Suns. Warriors have been off to a slow start. They've had a lot of drama going on. Roster speculation. They're 6-8. Curry is I believe he's sixth averaging points per game with 31.5.
Yeah.
Suns are 8-5.
Suns have been on the rise for a while now. Devin Booker coming into his own, and with the help of Chris Paul as well coming in, Suns look like a completely different team. Even with the Golden State struggles, I think it's going to be a tough game regardless. Steph Curry on any given day is a tough play. Golden State Warriors are always tough, even though they're kind of on the bubble a little bit. But
heart of a champion.
Heart of a champion.
You can't count them out. So Wednesday we got some good games coming. Let's look forward to Thursday now. We got 3 games, but this will be highlighted by the Nets and the Blazers.
Man.
And we talked a little bit, you know, Kyrie Irving suspended. He's not with the team, but the Nets are still hanging around with 6-8. Durant's getting almost 31 points a game.
Yeah, with Kyrie Irving out, you know, you got Steph Curry in there still doing, you know, putting up some numbers. Kevin Durant, he's going to get his. You know, that's the Reaper, man, Slim Reaper. So
Slim Reaper.
He's going to put in work when he needs to put it in.
But former All-Star Ben Simmons, I don't even know if he's yet to score double digits in a game this season.
I don't even know if he's going to make a free throw.
But let's talk about the Blazers, though. That's what I want to get into is shout out to the Pacific Northwest.
Stay PNW.
These Blazers.
City, baby.
And the very underrated big 3 of Damian Lillard, 28.6 points a game. Anthony Simon 22.3 points a game, and Jeremy Grant.
Yes, sir.
Three players getting 20 points a game?
20 points, yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Blazers haven't looked this nice in a long time. And there's been a lot of...
It's a quiet 2020.
Oh, absolutely.
Quiet, you know, because nobody's talking about the Portland Trailblazers like how you talk about the Phoenix Suns or how you talking about the Golden State Warriors.
Or any LA team
Or any
ever.
LA team ever, right? You know, like, come on, man. Look, Portland Trailblazers, man. Dame Dollars. Put some respect on his name. You know, you know, he's getting his just due, man. And I feel like he has his backcourt. He's not missing C.J. McCollum.
No.
Like I feel like how he was last year. You know?
Simons has stepped into that role very well. Nurkic has been healthy. That's been a problem for them in past years. And then we got a lot of bench players coming off. Hart had the game winner a few games ago. Jeremy Grant had a game winner. So there's a lot of players. It's top 1 to 15 is playing well for the Blazers.
100%.
That's exactly what you need. So
for sure. Yeah.
You know, Thursday, watch out for that game. And you know, that's some good NBA coming up. Let's look into some college football though, as that is getting into the clutch of things.
It's getting to that time of the year.
We're getting ready for some playoff matchups. So we can take a look at these top 10 matchups coming up this week.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 weeks left into it, you know. Let's take a look at these top 5 teams.
Yeah, for sure.
To start with.
Yeah.
Kind of starting off, we have number 1, the Georgia Bulldogs playing the number 24 Kentucky Wildcats. Jay, tell me about them Georgia Bulldogs, why don't you?
Man, what is more there to say about the Bulldogs, man? Come on, number 1. We number one in the. You going to the SEC? We're gonna scrape whoever's going there. Tennessee, because they rank number 5. So hey, look, I expect to see them in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
But look, it's time, man. You know, Alabama, they rank number 8. Georgia's number 1.
Yep.
Last year we was number 1. You see how we just pulling together with our team, man. And you know, if you even go to the highlights, man, you know, we got things going, making things happen. You see a fumble there, a drop pass, but we still going in. You know, it's all about putting in effort, you know, and the offense is continuing to put in the effort, man.
I think, not to cut you off, Alabama's been the top runner for years now. Nick Saban's had a stranglehold on the college football playoffs. However, throughout that time, Georgia and Tennessee and all the other SEC teams have been recruiting like crazy, and it's starting to show.
Yes, it is.
Even you can argue Texas A&M, who are not necessarily in the playoff run, has had top 3 recruitment classes for the last 10 or so years.
Yeah, right.
It's just kind of a culmination of those recruiting classes starting to show itself.
And players wanting to go to different teams and starting somewhere different. You know, that's what I'm looking at as well too. Right there, Wyatt, bro. Yeah.
They're trying to spread the wealth out of Alabama, and I know you've been wanting to say. I know you've been wanting to say this. Go ahead and say it.
I've been wanting to say this for the entire time. I've told you guys about it. I've told anyone who's wanted to listen.
Go ahead.
The best phrase I have ever heard in sports in the last 10 years is Alabama out of playoff contention. They've been looking a little rough this year for Alabama standards. They got an FCS team coming up, so they'll work out some kinks, but let's talk about some other games.
Let's talk about it. So we got number 2, Ohio versus Maryland. How's that looking out?
Ohio State gonna win that one, man. What we talking about? Maryland, where they ranked at?
I think that is missing from their name right there. So
where they ranked at, man?
You know,
you got one of the most filled out programs in sports. Marvin Harrison Jr., you can see running up, kind of cutting it up. C.J. Stroud, he's going number 1 overall this next draft. Ohio State's in the playoffs. That's just facts. They're coming out 4-score lead, gonna kill it.
No doubt.
Right. Number 3, Michigan versus Illinois. That's gonna be a.
Yeah, that's another one. Michigan gonna just walk all over them, man. You know, listen, man. Hey, look, if you look at the schedule, man, like this should be like a relaxation week for these top 5 teams, man.
So everything's gonna go how it's supposed to go.
It should go.
There's gonna be no upsets.
It's supposed, but you still, you know, any given Sunday, it could be any given Saturday.
Let's just make a. I just need to say something that I love when teams from big conferences are in the playoff hunt.
Come on.
Because when it comes to the championship game, when it comes to because Ohio and Michigan are going to meet again in the championship game.
No doubt.
And that's going to be their playoff ticket. That's what's so exciting about college football in a sense that every game is a playoff game. And then when it comes to conference championships games, we're going to see Michigan and Ohio State butt heads for sure.
Easy.
Yeah. Michigan's looking nice. Ohio State's looking nice.
Yeah.
We'll move on to number 4, TCU versus Baylor.
They've come out of nowhere, man.
TCU?
Battle of Texas with that one right there, man. Yeah.
you watch a lot of TCU. They're just a very physical team in a conference with just Big South. A lot going on.
They're going off.
Definitely the Cinderella story of this college football playoff season, and it's really cool to see a different school that isn't from the SEC or ACC.
Right.
Work their way and punch in their ticket in the college playoffs.
Gotta always have the feel good story. So let's see if they can do it. But knocking on the doors is number 5 Tennessee as they take on South Carolina.
Let me say this: that game, people need to watch.
Yeah.
I believe that game could possibly be an upset.
Yeah.
No pun intended. I hope Tennessee hits Spencer Rattler in the jaw.
Hit him in the jaw. Just, you got the glass jaw, so just leave it on the ground, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, pick it up later.
Folks, just pay attention to that one, man, because Tennessee, with only having 1 loss to my Georgia Bulldogs, look, they can go either way, right? But let's not put South Carolina out of the limelight, man. They could possibly make something happen.
Scars up there. So, So we got a fun weekend of college football, right?
We do.
All right, man, we're getting into the thick of things. So I mean, let's move on to some NFL, some pro football.
Let's go there.
We got a lot of matchups coming up. Let's start with that
we do.
Thursday night matchup. Packers and Titans, y'all. And I don't even know where to begin with that.
Packers, you cannot count the Packers out, especially with Aaron Rodgers. He's said a lot weirder stuff with more questionable teams.
Yeah.
And as all puns intended, run the table.
Yeah.
So I'm not counting them out until they're completely out of playoff contention. Same with Tom Brady and the Bucs. But for this game, I think like they're going to take momentum from this win against the Dallas Cowboys, and they're going to.
Which was a crazy wild game.
That was a crazy game.
100%.
As we look at some highlights from that game right here.
Yeah, as he links up with Watson, man, Christian Watson. And look, I think he found his number one wide receiver. After just watching that game, I believe Christian Watson had over 100 yards that game, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, everybody know him to be the bad man, so
you can never count out Aaron Rodgers led team at all. So I, on the other hand, think some Derrick Henry's gonna mess some things up, and he's gonna run over that defense. And Tannehill came back. They picked up the win last week too. So
so who you got?
I got Tennessee. And now with the AFC Giants moving on, I think Tennessee is going to step into that role real nice.
Nice.
So
Nice.
And to keep going with that, so Sunday matchups, we got some good ones coming on, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed, man.
Let's start out. We got Eagles and Colts.
Eagles and Colts, man. I got the Eagles. Even after their loss last night to the Washington Commanders, I can't stand that mascot name, man. Anyway, Washington Commanders.
Let's command.
And that is what they did against the Eagles.
They commanded
last
a win
They sure
last
did.
night. And Tyler Heineke, Taylor Heineke, man, he just, I feel like Washington has their quarterback now. Carson Wentz, he's on his way back, man, but I feel like he's on his way back to have a seat for a second.
Okay, well, about this Eagles matchup.
Yeah, I have sipped the Jeff Saturday Kool-Aid, and I'm rooting for them. It's like the same kind of feeling you get watching the Detroit Lions. Hey, who knows? Like players coming in this week, Indianapolis Colts obviously came in and took care of business against the Raiders.
Yeah.
They're very capable of doing the same thing against the Eagles.
They did rally around Jeff Saturday, who got called off the high school sidelines to come up to coach his former team. No experience, no college experience. They got a lot of names on that staff team. So for them to just skip over to Jeff Saturday, but hey, a win's a win.
I don't think they're worrying about the fact that Jeff Saturday, being a head coach. I just think that, like you just said, Austin, his people behind him, Reggie Wayne back there. You got a couple other coaches behind him.
He does got a good supporting cast.
He got a pretty decent supporting cast, man.
I still do think Philadelphia is going to come out on top on that one.
Likewise.
So next good matchup we got is the Bills and Browns. The Bills been struggling. They've lost a couple in a row, but the Browns, they're making headlines because Deshaun Watson is back to practice.
Yeah.
They're going to get him back week 13. It won't be back now, but I mean, surprisingly, they've done good under Brissett. He's like top 5 in yards.
He's holding his own, yeah.
He is holding it down.
He's done okay,
right now.
but I mean, I guess bigger story is the struggling Bills. Looked to be untouchable in the beginning of the season, and now have lost back-to-back to the Jets. And
I think the biggest key is they just need to run up the score. They're like 1-7 and 1-8 in one-score games these last couple years, and the same with the Vikings. They kept it close and was able to sneak out a win. So
yes, they were.
Easier said than done.
Yes, they were.
But speaking of Vikings, they are the hottest team in football right now.
Number one team.
And this is definitely this got to be the game of the week. Hey, we're doing the Cousins shuffle, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The 8-1 Vikings versus 6-3 Cowboys. That got to be the game of the week.
That's the game of the week.
And my man, Justin Jefferson, yo.
That it's going to be a highlight. That fourth down catch towards the end of the regulation.
Is this right?
I think that,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Let's
Fourth
take a
and
look.
18 of
Let's
all
take a look at this.
Bam! Look at that right there. Hey,
Oh my Lord.
Randy Moss is happy about that.
That's
He looked like Randy Moss in that
Randy Moss
Vikings
happy about
jersey,
that.
man. He looked like Randy Moss in that Vikings jersey.
He over there, yeah. He loves
Let's look at this.
man.
Look at
Like
man.
up close. And,
Taking it out of that man's possession.
and look,
one-handed.
you know,
Oh my Lord.
And the Buffalo Bills defense, you know, they not soft at all.
Nah.
Okay.
Not
but
at all.
Justin Jefferson, man, that just shows you, you know, pure wide receiver right there, man. Look at that.
And Kirk Cousins is living his best life right now. I mean,
He's loving it,
You
man.
know,
Got a big
the
target.
T.J. Hawkinson's looking like it's showing off. Their
Yeah.
defense.
Yep. Dalvin Cook
their
back there
defense
just-
is top. You know, and they were quiet when our last episode. We talked about the quiet Vikings,
Quiet
but
Vikings,
they
man.
screaming now.
No, they're
and
not.
they
loud,
They're
man.
finna kick down some doors and.
Until proven otherwise, I'm picking the Vikings every game. Like,
Got you.
That's not a bad pick.
Yeah,
That's not a
not
bad
the worst
pick.
thing in the world.
Yeah, man.
So this should be a good game though. And on the other side, I mean the Cowboys, Dak's coming back. They did suffer that loss, but I mean CD
Yeah.
had a game. I mean,
He did,
with
yeah.
2 touchdowns. He
Yeah.
had like 150 yards.
Yeah. But with Dak being back, you know, CD Lamb did his thing. You know, I feel like the interceptions caused the issues with the Dallas Cowboys at that time. But man, I got the Minnesota Vikings on this one.
Let's
man.
take it up to the primetime matchup of the 7-2 Chiefs versus the 5-4 Chargers. Hey, the Chiefs is lighting the league up. I mean, we know what to expect from Mahomes.
Yeah.
Chargers, on the other hand, haven't been that healthy. Their offense has been trying to struggle to find their way. They should, from what I'm hearing, they should be getting Mike Williams back and Keenan Allen back.
Will help a bunch for sure.
That would help tremendously because they are down to their third and fourth string wide receivers starting there. But I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce,
right.
That's end of story.
Yeah, Kansas City, they've caught fire this year. Chargers always play them tough, which is very understandable. They're always fun games to watch, Kansas City versus the Chargers. However, with Kadarius Toney being added onto the Chiefs,
Toney, man.
Tyreek Hill
again.
Jr., I think that's probably the one weapon they need.
That is the X factor.
Yeah, so
That
I'm pretty
is the
excited
X
to see.
factor.
Patrick Mahomes happy about that one.
Yes,
man.
he is. I'm mad he's not on my fantasy team right now. I had him and dropped him. Anyways, all right, Monday night matchup. Let's wrap this up. 49ers versus the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Battle of the NFC West.
Battle of the West. I got the Cardinals.
You got
with
the
that
Cardinals,
one.
huh?
I do have the Cardinals with this one, and the only reason why I have them is just because of the momentum that I see that they're bringing right now. We can't take for granted on the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey being added to that team. So, you know, I'm gonna edge the 49ers on this one by a field goal.
I got the opposite. I got the Niners edging them. The Cardinals beat up on a hurt Rams team without Matthew Stafford. So yeah, they might feel a little fake confidence.
Little
coming up.
swagger in their step.
The Niners, I mean, with the Seahawks running away from the division, the Niners know they got to make a statement.
No doubt.
I got the Niners by a lot. Not even edging out. They're just too filled out with this Christian McCaffrey trade coming in. Their offense, I believe, leads the league in yards per game with over 400 yards since they picked them up.
Okay.
So I am not seeing Arizona coming in and taking this one with either Colt McCoy-led Cardinals or whoever's starting at quarterback. Niners all the way on this one.
I saw an interesting stat that the Niners are 8-1 when Garoppolo throws 0 touchdowns in the game.
Crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Crazy stat. All right. So there's our NFL. It's gonna be a good one. Now let's transition into some boxing, man. We've waited long enough for Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. Both sides have failed to come to an agreement before, but it's looking like it's coming up now. Jay, what you got to say about this, my man?
Man, you know, the boxing world been waiting on Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., right? This is something that's needed for boxing, man. But resources and everything that we've done research, these guys are not fighting at all. Terrence Crawford, he's taking on another opponent, as well as Errol Spence Jr., he's going against Keith Thurman. Those are going to be 2 good matches, but everybody wants to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence combined, they have 66 total wins, 51 of them being by knockout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People do not want to see backyard boxing no more. They want to see the highlight of boxing. And what's happening with the boxing world is the promoters, the managers, you know, they got their hands in the fighters. They want to protect them and this, that, and the third. But you got these guys, man, they hungry. And they want to get out here and make big matches and want to solidify their career, their professional career as one of the greats. You know, pound for pound. They're both pound for pound. They both won in 3 different weight classes. Oof. Okay. Undisputed. So what is there more to say? I got Terence Crawford being the #1 best fighter, and then Errol Spence being #2, the best fighter, pound for pound right now in the world. So we hoping, man, to get them to having the fight. But
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans. Yeah, Clash of the Titans. We looking maybe next year, probably 2023 right now. So that's what the world been waiting on.
They
man.
building the anticipation up. You know, they gotta sell. They gotta itemize their prime. So
yeah, they need to.
Then they'll throw these little dog bones at them real quick, and then
you got a lot of the old school heavyweight fighters, and Mike Tyson. He talking all kind of crazy talk about these.
They're probably waiting for Jake Paul and them to bring boxing back into the light. Sad to say that it takes Jake Paul to bring boxing back into the light.
It's wild, man.
But all right, y'all. Well, you can go ahead and scoop your jaw back up off the floor.
For sure, man.
That's been What's the Scoop, y'all. And shout outs to Bates Technical College, my man Tristan, wife Jessica, everybody on the production set. You know, we did our thing. And
yeah, man. Y'all the real MVPs, man.
Thanks to our viewers. We love y'all.
We're about to hit y'all in the jaw.
In the jaw. Catch you next time.
Peace.
Deuces.